close. And, you know, they actually had a really good game that game, right? Trying to push up onto the Wolves. They did get that push done well. D Plus were actually a little bit late on their third party, but they were just able to just back it up with immense firepower. But honestly, for me, I see continuing to have a good day today.
I don't know that team name. There's a team called that? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Looking at the top 4 players of this game, we do have Narvalo, Falak, Regiosio, and then Notable that, in my opinion, would normally be the MVP. The MVP has to be on the winning team, but I think that if we took it purely based on stats, it would have to be Notable because, oh my goodness, Niptura, this guy, I don't know what happened to him this game in particular, but he was a demon. And he would see you, you would not even survive 5 seconds. You were done. You're out.
Yeah, exactly. He just decided who lived and who went back to the lobby. He was like, no, you're not allowed. You're not a threat right now. I'll deal with you later. And he was just going through the rest of the lobby so methodically. Really love to see that. And hey, you know what? Regiosio, first time we're seeing a Rejects player on this board. And it's nice to see him second place, 5 eliminations, putting in that work, putting on those points.
Yep, and like I said, they needed them because looking at the difference, right? So in the last game, we saw Loops. They were at the cutoff with 61 points, okay? And RC had 38, all right? So that difference right there is a total of 23, okay? Now Loops have 74, and RC have 51. You know what that is a difference of? 23, right? So they have not progressed at all. Right, in order to make it into the last chance stage. So I'm going to say it again. It's chicken dinner time. I think they extended it to 1 more game. But at least in my eyes, this is the last one for me. What do you think, Max? You think they have another one? Do you really think so?
I think there's still another one. I would say, you know what? Yes, they still have 1 more, mid-game that could happen for them. But after that, it's going to be game over. Halfway point today, we need to see something come out from these guys.
Ooh, that's bold. That's bold. Natura, what do you think?
I think that, yeah, I agree, honestly, with Max that they have a little bit of extra time, but they don't have much.
Well, let's go ahead and take it on over to the stage with 7WG with Falcons and Narvalo.
Welcome back to a quick report with the 7WG. I'm joined by Narvalo from Team Falcons. Narvalo, great quick rotation from Pachinki to military. And honestly, I want to talk about your gameplay because I feel like your gameplay has improved from day 1 to now the final day. What have you been doing the past 2 days to make sure you can actually perform here on the final day?
I think for this game, it was a call, the print path was north, and we said if it's military, we should be first to reach the island. So it was a call to go quick and go on the left side, no block, as we kind of studied, and then I think we move way faster and with better position. We take better position first and second zone, and that brings us better end games.
You definitely did. Now you're currently, I believe, 17 points away from the top 3. Do you honestly think you can make it to top 3?
Before a game, we could think it's too far, but after this game, we did, I think, more than 17 points. So if we just need 1 or 2 other games like that, then we should be close to the top 3.
Well, Team Falcons, the confidence is back. Let's see if they can make it to top 3. Back to y'all.
I give it to
Let's go, man. You know what? I totally agree. I think Falcons are absolutely in that range for top 3. I think this could be a big game for them here. I think they can definitely handle a mid-game, but it's going to be a chicken dinner coming up from some of them. As a matter of fact, I'll go down to even Genji. What do you think about that, Max?
Oh, je crois que c'est possible que... Oh, wait, we're in French mode. French accent. Put me in the French mood. Sorry about that. But no, for them, it could definitely be possible for Genji. I mean, we saw they could do in Miramar, right? They got themselves a Rondo also yesterday. Very good game over there. But Miramar is the map that stands out the most to me when it comes to Genji. But Wrangle, hey, if there's any map that we want to see more from Genji right now, it would be this map. It would be the grassy pastures.
Yeah, it would be. It's what we need to see, especially because, They need the points. They need the points, and they need to go quick because those teams at the bottom, they're still pushing, still going. So honestly, it's not so much a wrangle. I think for me, it's like match 3, done deal, needs to be done now.
Let's see if they can do it right now. The last Aaron Gale of the day. Let's take it on over to our casters, John and Blake.
Am I going?
Okay, Rangal का मैच चालू हो गया.
All right. After this, we've got 1 more Aaron Gale. We've got 2 more to play, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah. Match 16 will also be on Oracle, so don't go getting ahead of yourself there, Dukes. I know you want to see who's qualified, but we are going to have to play all of the matches here. Sosovka military base over towards Stalba. It's only fitting we start the play from down here, where our last match ended, sending straight over the top of good memories. Well, quite a lot of good memories for Nolvu and the Falcons, and going over towards that Stalba position on the northeast side.
Yeah, it's a bit of an Eastern playing map here, so it's slightly more difficult. It's actually getting tough for me to talk about these games at the moment because there is so much happening, and there's so much to analyze. There's so much to go over. It's pretty tough for me. I mean, for Wolves there in that last game, I really wanted to talk about that position a little bit more, just because it is a case of, as that 3-man, you no longer have the power to split off like that, and you sort of have to suffer a little bit where you don't have that angle off towards the western side to watch for approaches, but you have to hold that ditch as a 3-man because it's likely people are going to crash onto you. So this is what I mean by just these small errors in gameplay. Again, hindsight is 2020, and I'm out here on the observing this. The double is insane. Maybe I cursed him. I said I wanted to see it, so he gave it to us. Oh, fair enough. We'll give you 2 today. Fair play. APG get a nice start. They got immediately over towards Millie Base as we started down there nice and early. The difficulty comes in the fact that this moves away from Millie Base at that playing path. So if this is coming down from Kameshki towards the south, teams that are dropping late could have readjusted on their plane path, on their parachutes down towards military base. In this case, it's really only Gen G and GS who get a decent start off the back of this one. So another game potentially for Reject as well as Tiamba, who both start very close to this location, try and lift themselves out. But he's getting very far ahead of them now. It loops with 74 points for 51 and 50 apiece for Reject as well as Tiamba.
I mean, the major difference on this West Bridge is Gen G being here, right? Go had a pretty free and clear rotate over last time. If Gen G pull up and cause a fight to start here, Falcons, we saw they wanted to rotate fast early. This is the same circle, the same decision. I don't think too many teams will have had time to fully review what happened there, except for maybe Go on that rotation. They'll know the Falcons move fast. But if they get stuck down in a fight here, the Falcons are going to crash straight into the back of it. This 3-team traffic jam didn't exist in the last. And GS are holding the East Bridge in the meantime, by the way. We'll see just how sticky this spot can be. Because Tiamba moving in. This is on the East Bridge now. And there is a roadblock. There is the Caltrops. They're out. They're looking for the backstop player. They're looking to try and disparage them from getting on forwards. Des has to drop down low. And that's where the backup needs to come through from Jafar. It's there in spades. Buckets of bullets pouring down on the bridge. And now the offangles are brilliant coming on through. There's finally an answer from Tiamba, but it's too little too late. They've lost the majority of their players. Nobody else is pushing in right now on this East Bridge either, Lank. So no chance that GS get run down by a third party.
I think it's one of the few times where I think that you just send it. You just send it if you are Tiamba. The initial shots weren't that great from GS, and I think Tiamba respects it a little bit too much. They crashed just directly into the wall before they'd taken barely any damage. I don't know if it was the optimal play there in that instance. Again, it's one of those things where it could have gone either way. Tiamba drops out, they get the first 2 knocks, and then it's easier to play from there. But I think that really hurts Tiamba's chances, and I think they have to take a bit of a gamble on just the straight approach into the zone. Neptune actually brings up a really good point about Falcons, where if they get another strong game here, potentially is the initial rotations. Now, me and you have been covering PMSL EU for the longest time, John, and we know that the Falcons are some of the slowest to rotate. Because they play Pachinki so much, they already have this central position. I actually think that position hurts them. It is one of the strongest locations in the map because it is so central. But it's made this almost stagnant gameplay coming through from Falcons where they don't make these initial rotates to strong positions. They'd rather play Church on the west side of Pachinki and wait things out if it's a western circle. I think here, because we do go to Sosnovka, it forces Falcons to take risks, to make moves, which they wouldn't necessarily otherwise go for. And they're benefiting from it. which says a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they are now, after that game, very much in with a chance of getting top 3 here as well, Blank, is going to be great news, and they will love to see a game that they just succeeded on very, very in a very big way, right? Repeat itself, hopefully. But the second circle on last match was also a big factor. It forced a lot of teams to move to the north side of the island after having tried to rotate around, occupying a lot of the area, a lot of the ground around there. So that was a big factor in the dynamic of that last zone, of that last match. We'll see where we're going to go this time around. But the moment Falcons on the south coast with Gen G went across the bridge very, very early.
हो सकता है
So let's see how that out, and they're going to peel back off this one. No reason to try and push this. And they've already scouted out a huge amount of space on the western side. Sadly, this is eastern leaning on the circle, so it could be further over towards where Observatory is. Alpha Gaming actually goes for a different maneuver. You know, they'll take Observatory for themselves, try and get that high ground nice and early. I think for Alpha Gaming, it's almost weird where I think that this team will perform even better than they have here over in the grand finals. I think that sometimes, but there is a sense of boredom that comes through from this team at times where they really do want to get stuck into things. They don't like playing slow. And they are so good at the game. And I think that does create difficulties for them. That's a sad shot. That's a sad shot from the observer. It's like looking at the beach, the buggy from Tiamba before they fell down. It's like, I was watching a funeral.
Well, you know, you got to celebrate him somehow, I suppose, whenever you can. Supra Supermassive still embroiled in Melter, though, with Loops, who are able to find Tron B. No answer either. A little bit of damage, but I mean, this should be extricable for Loops. Neither team really wants to stay here for too long, though, Blank. I mean, there is a lot more of the North Island in this circle than in that first match that we saw today on Erangel. So you do have maybe a little bit more time. The circle could also still... it's got maybe like a 10 to 15% chance of going back to the mainland. It's very unlikely, but is technically possible. We'll have to wait and see for that one. So maybe a little bit more time on average. They can go for it, and especially with the state of this east side bridge. It's maybe a pretty safe bet to stay in Melter for the time being.
कोशिश यही कर रहे कि इसका हिंदी में लाइव स्ट्रीम मिल जाए बट हिंदी में नहीं हो रहा है कहीं पर भी और गाइस अगर आप टीम इंडिया को सपोर्ट कर रहे हो तो लाइक करो शेयर करो गाइस स्ट्रीम को क्योंकि हो सकता है जैसे टीम इंडिया फाइट ले रही है नाम के सामने उनकी ब्लिंक हो रहा है 13 नंबर पे टीम इंडिया फिलहाल में डे 3 है आज का मैं देख लूंगा ओजी कहां पर है
the western bridge might be a slightly better idea if you are late to this, and there are a lot of teams that play over towards the eastern side. With this being eastern playing path 2, that's most likely the locale that teams are going to be passing through. And the inner circle realizes that as well, and they're going to pass over towards the west, which is actually cuts out a lot of teams for them to have to go up against. Is Papa Supermassive up against Loops? Loops, the most in danger right now of falling down into the bottom 5 at 75 points, right, just 5 points clear from GS.
Yeah, it's real rough stuff on that 11th place bubble. Obviously, we're playing in with 2 bubbles on this blank. If you were looking at the top 3, we were expecting it to be somewhere around 140. That's what we saw from Gauntlets on the same number of matches. It was 141, I think, and 4th place was 140. So very, very close. Could be around there. Could be a little bit different. So if you're up and over about 150, that's where you start to feel pretty good about yourself, right? That's where you start to feel a lot safer in terms of the top 3. And then we're playing with the 11th place bubble, which is not easy at all. As well, it seems to be very, very closely fought. Probably going to be closer to around that 90-point boundary. So getting up and over 100 sees you a lot more secure into those at least last chance stages.
Okay, दो ही बंदे मिले, दो बंदे वापस.
There are teams now breaking into that as well. Even towards the middle of the pack, I mean, Papa Supermassive is not far off breaking that century.
बुरा वाइस टीम के साथ दोनों बंदे डिवाइडेड है.
A little bit too close for comfort. I think this should be a free Elim, yeah, absolutely.
I think he's stepping too far there. I was very worried. I think any other team but Reject Greed,
Perfect decision
might have gone down there.
He wants those points, man. He wants to bump himself up in the tables. Respect him for it. But you are right. I think that what you said at the start of the game is very pertinent here, where Falcons actually are in with the running now. I think there's only one spot up for grabs, personally. I don't see D plus putting on the brakes anytime soon. I think Alpha Gaming have done more than enough this tournament. And I think personally, if you're an Alpha Gaming fan and you're looking how they're playing today, it might not look flashy, but they're playing slow because they just want to get regular points, consistent points. And that's even if they just play like this, there is going to be a game today where Alpha Gaming has a strong position and they win from it because they can. And I think that will see Alpha Gaming through towards the grand finals. And they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it as well. I think Top in particular, having a wife and 3 kids and a kid, right? It's a lot to juggle. It's a lot to juggle, but it just shows that even at 26, like, you can still perform extremely well as long as you have the grind up. It's incredible.
पता नहीं चल रहा किसके साथ है क्योंकि वो लोग दिखा भी नहीं रहे
I've been
उसका
on the
प्ले
grind here for a while, trying to get on into the zone, but I've had to go all the way to the west side, and OG
हाँ कोने का सही बोले जरा सा
lots of
थोड़ा
damage.
मुश्किल
We
है
felt
टीम
like
इंडिया
both of
का
these teams by the blue zone. We're into stage 3, so it's
बट
not
कुछ भी हो
trivial
सकता
to
है
deal
फाइनली
with.
हम कुछ कह नहीं सकते कि क्या होने वाला है
Oh, shotgun shut down there on a tanky. I don't think that's going to be resible, but there's the off angle they were looking for. I think that
कुछ भी हो सकता है फाइनल में
burn coming through from a tanky with that
थोड़ा वॉइस
Molotov.
कम करता हूँ क्योंकि
Both
हेडफोन में
teams
बहुत
are going to
ज़्यादा
start to lose players.
ऑडियो आ
I
रहा है
think disengaging, if you can, is fairly wise at this stage. OG going to try and make a run for it. Loops, maybe actually getting this res here. It is still resible.
Okay.
For just a moment longer.
I
We'll see if they can
my
make it
mistake,
work.
my
And
mistake.
yeah, OG,
मुझे याद ही नहीं है कि उन्होंने अपना नाम चेंज किया है IQ OG sorry guys
It's a very, very tough approach here for OG. And again, this is what I meant earlier.
OG का एक बंदा फिनिश हो गया है शायद से
It takes a while to
और
get here,
तीनों
but
बंदे
OG definitely
डैमेज
make it.
भी
They're
है
gonna take a quick scout over the bridge, quick reset on the meds, but there's no one waiting here. Why is Alter still on the north side?
The analyst kind of light out of it.
क्या लगता है गाइस क्या हो सकता है क्योंकि OG ने अपना एक बंदा गवा चुकी है और OG को प्ले जोन क्रॉस करके जाना है उस साइड मतलब ब्रिज क्रॉस करना है बहुत ज़्यादा क्रिटिकल सिचुएशन है अगर ब्रिज क्या होगा तो ओके लॉब्स्टर्स भी यहाँ से ब्रिज क्रॉस कर ले ये सेट का ब्रिज कैंप नहीं था बच गए
I am worried that what they're going to do is they're going to go for the swim, in which case they give up a lot of vehicles.
They're just refueling. Don't worry. They just stopped off for snacks. That's what it is. Alva was hungry, guys. It's all just a day to a full stomach. Can't be taking gunfights on an empty stomach.
Oh, we're getting to stage 4. And 9Z is coming in behind them right now.
Maybe they're not waiting. Maybe they're the ones bridge camping.
Maybe. Come on.
I mean, that's the
Time
only
to
thing
go
I can
now. It's time to go now. Thank you. Thank you.
You can't get yourself picked back up after this stage as well, so very dangerous to stay out this long.
गाइस
Very much a situation of
सिचुएशन तो बहुत ज़्यादा क्रिटिकल है क्योंकि ब्रिज कैंप हमारी OG कहाँ गई है OG
more of a tongue twist than I thought that was going to be.
It's 2 layers, mate.
They've got a cross. They have got a cross. Circle.
सर्कल और छोटा हो चुका है और सर्कल मिलिट्री का बना है
Over on this north side, playing the hilltop. I think you get this is a messy circle. It's a very messy circle.
इन्होंने तो ऑलरेडी से ही मतलब अपना डेरा ही बना के रखा है
A little bit of airstrip, which is
Oh my God.
comfortable to
सही
play in.
बहुत
I think
सही
Wolves want to get out of that area as soon as
थोड़ा सा
possible.
ओपन मैन करने से दिक्कत हो गई यहाँ पे भाई को
Alpha Gaming though, goodness me.
Ooh, okay. Shots down towards Alter Ego. They'll need to pick these reses up as fast as they can to get onto this next zone. D plus ahead of them to their west. You've got 9Z.
OG के बंदे नॉक हो गए
Rather shockingly, just stepped straight on through, but
नहीं
straight
नहीं
reject
नहीं होना
already.
चाहिए था ये नहीं होगा बहुत गलत होगा गाइस
Reject, very happy to see some points delivered to them. The question is, can they find the
OG के
shots?
3 बंदे
Can they
फिनिश हो
find those
चुके हैं
shutdowns?
गाइस लास्ट बंदा बचा है ओजी का, अगर ये भी बंदा नॉक हो गया तो हो सकता है कि ये बहुत ज्यादा बुरा हो रहा है गाइस। गाइस बैकग्राउंड की जो नॉइज आ रही है उसको इग्नोर करो, क्योंकि मैं अभी हटोटाइट और मेरी कैट आके मुझे सता रही है। ओह माय गॉड, एक और टीम फिनिश हो चुकी है गाइस। आरसी अल्फा बहुत बेस्ट खेला गाइस, बहुत बेस्ट खेला। गाइस टीम इंडिया का यार बहुत बुरा हाल चल रहा है फिलहाल कि इतना नीचे भाई ओजी के बंदे डिजर्व नहीं करते यार, मतलब वो इससे बेस्ट कर सकते हैं। यार एक ही बंदा बचा है अपना टीम इंडिया का। आईसी मतलब पाकिस्तान की टीम के चारों प्लेयर जिंदा है फिलहाल में, जो है ओजेन के 4 प्लेयर जिंदा है, जीएस के 4 प्लेयर जिंदा है, 1 2 3 टीम अभी तक एलिमिनेट हो चुके हैं। फिलहाल में पीजी बहुत परफेक्ट खेल रहे, बहुत परफेक्ट मतलब बहुत परफेक्ट, पॉइंट टेबल पे नंबर 1 पे बैठे हैं, प्लस इस मैच में भी 3 किल निकाले। फाक ने तो ओजी के 3 बंदे मार दिए, और पता नहीं किसी एक को कौन सा एक मारा है।
That there are teams ahead of them, right? So you assume that the ground in front of them is very, very full. I'm really trying to give them as much leeway as possible here. I will admit. Maybe I should pamper them supermassive though, down to their last player against Loops, and they're not having a good time of it. That is going to be Papa Supermassive eliminated, and Loops are up to 9 elims. Blank, you said they were the team that's most in danger of dropping down. Well,
9 kills निकाल चुके हैं इस मैच में, एक बंदा गवा दिया है उन्होंने अपना, बट ब्राजील की टीम शायद से बहुत सही खेल रही है, क्योंकि 9 किल्स निकाले शायद से इस मैच में। आईक्यू का बंदे ने होल्ड तो किया है ओजी ने, बट उसमें के भी क्लोज हो चुके हैं शायद से। 1 HP परफेक्ट।
Falcons. They're moving in. I think Redox inside the bottom 5. Craig has to hit the deck. Falcons know exactly where he is. That'll be pinned down on the vehicles, but they are pulling back a little bit. Icon taken down. That is the last player of GS. That is APG rocking up to this one as well. The Falcons on the far side really causing some hurt, some pain there. So they're up to 5 elims. APG as well.
एक बंदे पे 3 लोगों ने मिलकर रश कर दिया है भाई। जेंस का बंदा वैसे प्रॉब्लम है क्योंकि वो साइड से फाइट का टीम देख रहा है उसे, बहुत मुश्किल है सर्वाइव करना। 1 HP ऑल डेड, 10 नंबर की टीम ऑल डेड हो चुकी है गाइस। सही परफेक्ट ग्रेनेड था वो।
Yeah, for Alpha, all this is right about now is just not giving up first place. The jump up in prize pool between second and first place is quite a lot in most PUBG Mobile tournaments. We still reward our top 3 very handsomely, but it's usually first place who does take the biggest cut of the prize.
के एक बंदे ने उतना तो दिमाग लगा दिया कि मतलब वो लास्ट तक सर्वाइव करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, जिससे कि पॉइंट टेबल में थोड़ा सा ऊपर आने के चांसेस बढ़ जाएंगे ओजी टीम के। बस 1-2 किल निकाल ले।
And this one's been good. I mean, even taking the opportunity to move over towards Observatory, that's very unlike Alpha Gaming. Okay, takes Krypton along with him.
10th number की टीम GSB।
I think that, you know what I would quite like to know is how many vehicle eliminations Dogs had this group green. I think we're up to 6 or 7 now at this point, which is more than I think we've ever had in any one tournament.
Don't think so कि
he is certainly a terror behind the wheel.
ये सही डिसीजन था ओजी का।
Regretting that one.
Okay, nice.
So we take a look over towards the rest of this game.
Nice.
Fairly quickly
ओजी का बंदा सही तो खेल रहा है, उसने एक किल निकाल लिया है।
Convincingly under control by D+.
Okay. डीके ने नेट किया, नॉच नॉक हो चुका है, फ्लेक पे भी फ्री आ चुका है। ग्रेनेड का गेम चल रहा है गाइस, ग्रेनेड और स्मोक।
They've already taken a lot of damage and as D plus they're up
ये
against
गॉड
Musa
किलर
at the
ने
off angle and Go are taking shots as well.
लॉन्ग से स्प्रे देके अपना फायदा उठाया, बट किल सेव करना उसको बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है.
What can he do here? Fabian close by but backing off to find chips on the res.
D plus. Chips goes down. NATO on the top towards Falak. Does get a lot of damage done. Fabian.
गाइस चलो थोड़ा सॉन्ग सुनते सुनते ही मतलब गाने चलाते हैं, मतलब गेम चलाते हैं.
They should be able to hit chips back up. It's nice to see.
BGMI का ही सॉन्ग चलाते हैं आज. गाइस अगर पता है स्टीम का थोड़ा क्वालिटी लो है क्योंकि मेरा वाईफाई नहीं चल रहा है, तो गाइस लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर दो.
It's kind of D plus versus reject again. Like in this circle, the southeast side that we see on the picture is APG versus Falcons. D24 is going to give it a good go.
पूरा गेम ग्रेनेड और स्मोक में ही चल रहा है. परफेक्ट.
Down in response, and yeah, that's going to get flushed out. IQ is actually still alive in all of this. He did manage to get out of that fight. I am still focused though on this fight on the southeast side as we zap on over to it. Falcons with 4, APG with 4 as well. Haven't really been able to find success on either front of that, and APG disengaged. They're moving up to the hills to the north and maybe looking to fight D+.
गाइस चिकन के बहुत क्लोज आ चुके हैं. ओजी के बंदे ने परफेक्ट लिया है, एक ही जगह पे बैठा है जिससे कि वो सेफ है फिलहाल में. तो
D plus and Alpha Gaming, which probably will break out towards the end here, will be the fight of the day. Very excited to see this one happen. Falcons need to break wide though. Currently Zhol is holding this spot. For the Falcons, we did speak about this at the start of the game, that there is a big chance to jump up above in a circle, above goal. Into that top position.
बहुत ज़्यादा क्रिटिकल मोमेंट आ चुकी है गाइस. म्यूजिक को फील करो गाइस.
Falcons in the top 3. What a lineup that will make over in the grand finals. Unreal.
I mean, I don't think going into the day anyone would have called Falcons with a chance.
But this is the last day. It's the last day always. It's always the last day for the Falcons.
Yeah, it does seem to be, doesn't it? There's
क्या हो
something
सकता है
about
गाइस?
it. They have
सिचुएशन ही वैसी है.
resurgence built within them. Built different somehow.
It's curious as well because usually Alpha Gaming is like the
एपीजे
team
और डीके
that is
बहुत सही खेल रहे
last
हैं. अरे
day
बाप रे,
champions.
एपीजे का एक बंदा नॉक हो गया गाइस.
Final day, Alpha Gaming is known to put up a disgusting performance.
फ्लैग के 2 बंदे जा चुके हैं और फिनिश भी किया उल्फ ने.
Equally are suffering versus the Wolves. Just Doran here, actually.
ओके, उल्फ एलिमिनेट हो चुकी है पूरी टीम को.
Top 3, the Falcons.
उल्फ ने एलिमिनेट किया गाइस.
Oh, yes. Hang on a minute. Doran. You can't be doing that. Yeah, Doran goal. Right on the face.
I'm sorry I didn't give that too much fanfare.
ओजी के पास एक किल है.
It felt like,
सबसे बेस्ट जिसमें खेला मतलब ब्राजील का टीम, उनका पास 9 किल है.
Falcons will clean this up
ओके,
surely.
नहीं भाई, एक नंबर के जो भी फिल्म में वन टेबल पे टॉप पे उनकी भी 8 किल्स है.
I cannot believe Doran pulled that off.
नाइस.
I mean, blink and you miss it, right?
डीके कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ऊपर से किल निकाल चुके.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, Wolves again. Not really probably going to get too much out of this game, but certainly ruin it for the Falcons. The decision to crash onto Doran for the Falcons, though, might be an interesting one here, Blank. It feels like
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
Okay, sure you could transition towards reject later on, potentially.
1 2 3 4 5 6 6 टीम बच चुकी है.
They could have really
इसमें
crashed
से हमारी टीम इंडिया के पास सिर्फ एक ही बंदा बच चुका है. 3 बंदे एलिमिनेट हो चुके हैं टीम इंडिया के. सर्वाइव करना मुश्किल है, बट मैं तो यही कहूँगा कि ट्राई करना कि टॉप 3 में तो आने की कोशिश करे. ओजी की टीम का जो बंदा है क्योंकि जोन अभी भी उस पे ही है.
On the decision making, I don't think there was an issue with it.
डीके के पास एडवांटेज है, आरसी के पास एडवांटेज है फिलहाल में क्योंकि इनके ज्यादा बंदे हैं और शायद से गॉड किलर के भी सबसे ज्यादा बंदे बचे हैं. डीके और गॉड किलर का भी फिलहाल में ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटी है.
I don't really have too many options right now with the smoke cover.
I do like for Doran, he's now just using the
quality क्यों नहीं बढ़ रहा है यार
entirety
टीम
of
का?
Falcons utility to cross 20 meters.
वाईफाई भी गलत टाइम पे डाउन हो चुका है.
I'll show you guys how to use util.
Oh my god. Doran. Like, where's he getting all these smokes from? What? Is it more than one dude? What's going on? Some kind of nimbus cloud off in the distance. Oh dear. Oh, he's made it to the wall. Great job. We did it. That's so many smokes. That's insane. OG getting found on their last player. That's Goat to pick it up. Goat have been down on the belt buckles for a while as well, trying to crawl across the open ground. 5 teams remain. 8 eliminations for APG as well on this match. They've only got 2 remaining. Doran. No.
Come on.
You gotta stop, man. You got to. You cannot be allowed to do stuff like this. Kraken has to hit the deck. They can't really take 3 fights here. Doran, that's up for another. No,
you're crazy.
You can't do this. You can't do this. This is PMGC. It's not allowed.
Guys.
Someone put him to bed. It's his bedtime. Surely he's out of this game. Stop it! Goats go down to the Giant Slayer. What is this man doing? He is absolutely crazy.
Oh, dear me.
कितने बंदे बचे पता नहीं चल रहा है.
Doran will not let you get a foot in towards
गाना
the
बजाने का टाइम आ चुका है.
circle. A 1v4 into a 1v3. This is magic on the main stage. We talked about rabbits out of a hat, but right now, Doran's making this look easy. Gets up to the wall as well. Probably should go
Okay,
down
perfect
this
grenade,
stage, though, but goodness me, what a game it's been
Guys,
from him.
आरसी का ग्रेनेड और
Okay.
एलिमिनेट हो चुके हैं.
Oh my days, it looks like the nightmare's ended though, and now we're up to the hilltops. APG on 2 players alive, they've got a lot, but it's D Plus again in this late game on a military island circle. They find top, and now look at this yawn around the corner as well. 3rd place guaranteed for APG, at least that will put them over 150. or maybe not quite.
गलत सॉन्ग लग गया, गलत सॉन्ग लग गया.
What they'll be looking for, but still very, very close, very comfortable to be in the top 3. Our first team to really, truly look it down towards those spots. Team Plus want to join them though. With a chicken dinner, you think that they might be able to. Reject again in a late game circle. 6 elims. It's almost more important for Reject than anybody else right now.
It absolutely is. For Reject, they want the chicken dinner. They got 2 big dogs in the lobby, and right now they're the Chihuahuas. Let's see if they can make it happen. This is the best of them. They'll take some shots off it towards the distance.
कुछ भी हो सकता है guys. पता नहीं किसके झोले में गिरेंगे chicken में.
They have vehicles as well, which is the main thing. But D Plus continues to send nades their way, keep them backed off from their position. D Plus looking to fight out for those bragging rights at the top of the tables.
I mean, Reject have the center of the circle, but D Plus are sure they've got a higher ground position, they've got an angle, but they're gonna have to move. The point's denied from APG.
It's mean.
They actually picked up the res in order to deny an extra point there, which is kind of nasty. To the blue zone it goes, but now D Plus versus Reject. Already a good game for Reject, but they desperately need this chicken dinner to stay alive in this tournament, to jump up towards that 11th place bubble. It's going a little bit long onto Ragey. Downhill, it's always a little bit tougher.
For Reject, they need the chicken. Like you say, it's imperative that they get it. It's not a case of, oh, it would be nice for Reject to have a chicken dinner. At this point in time, it is a case of it's required. It is a necessary procedure for Reject to grab a chicken dinner here, to finish out this game, and give them that chance. Because I think even with a chicken dinner here, it doesn't take them out from the bottom 5. But it will be the first stepping stone for them.
Plus, starting to run a little bit lower on those nades. You can see they've only got 3 remaining. Ragey cooking another. If he finds a knock, this would be huge. The Molotov probably a wiser decision. Force Ragey off of the tree. The question is, does it land on spot? It definitely did. Look at that damage tick away. He has to fall all the way back to the vehicle. That's going to be a lot easier for D Plus to go on towards. They know the damage is there, and they have to go over the top now. Right down towards Dubai. D Plus trying to stop Reject from getting on in. And
Situation guys with critical
a wild rollout here, and Apollo finds it. Oxal is down. They do not find the backlines. They haven't got it up yet.
Okay, guys,
another one on the back here.
वही टीम बचे.
Is now 3v2.
3v3 guys, क्या हो सकता है?
They are desperately climbing towards those tables, towards that 11th place. But Ragey will finally go down to the nade. One more left. Look on for Apollo. Nobu with a chance here, and it's going short of the tree stroke.
Comes down, leaving it all down to Apollo in a 1v2. An impossible task ahead of him. Pulls the pin on the grenade. Reject looking to reject defeat here in the face
गाइस हो चुका है चिकन इन्हें निकाला है गुड प्ले गाइस गुड प्ले देखना पड़ेगा कैसे हुआ
Not a smile in sight. They are so cool, calm and collected. Into the top 3 with them. They looked pretty solid before. Now even more so for rejects. In tatters. A lot of points, but absolutely no. I think for rejects, they did get some of the flushes towards the end there. 6 points, so you can see that they are absolutely dismayed about that one. But again, it is a little further down on this journey for them because it's a long way coming that they need to go to get out from that bottom 5, but they're getting some successes today. There's still 3 more matches to make it happen, but rejects historically, those Miramars haven't been fantastical for them. I can only hope that they can continue here, John, with these strong performances, but a D+, it is another big game in the pocket.
And with that insane chicken dinner, I think D+ might have just secured their position to the grand finals. And how did they win this game, Max? Back against the wall, so little time left. They had to hit those knocks, crazy rotation on the end, but then